Let's bring in meteorologist Maureen McCannell. So real-time traffic expert Ryan Harper watching the roads all across Central Florida this morning. So Maureen, you've been talking to so many of your friends and families, and many people watching right now have relatives up north. It is truly a serious situation up there.
Yeah, overnight about 12 to 18 inches of snow fell. Plus they've had wind gusts of 50 to 60 miles per hour and tidal impacts too. Now high tide was around 4:30 in the morning. They had significant erosion in the Scituate area. We're looking live at Plum Island, which is on the north shore of Massachusetts near the Newburyport area. So that's where they're getting some significant bands still rotating onshore. This is a long duration event, so it's been snowing overnight. Still got another 12 hours or so before it really lets up. Now that storm is indirectly impacting our weather here because we're getting that cooler flow on the back edge of it. That's why our temperatures this morning have only been in the 40s and 50s. I kind of feel bad posting these pictures for my friends and family up north, but the temperatures are a little bit deceiving with the beautiful sunrise. 42 in Daytona Beach. We'll get through the rest of your weather coming up at 7:11, but we want to see how those roads are looking right now. Ryan Harper standing by with real-time traffic. How are the roads looking for us now, Ryan?
Your accurate weather experts forecast with Storm Tracker 13.
It is now 11 past the hour on this Tuesday morning. A cooler start to the day. We look back on our temperatures compared to 24 hours ago. Everything is in the negative reading, some 10 to 15 degrees below where we were yesterday. And we look at those numbers across Marion County. So a cooler morning and a cool afternoon is on the way too. But we will enjoy lots of sunshine, kind of like yesterday. But if you were out yesterday afternoon like I was out by Lake Baldwin, yeah, it was pretty windy. The sky was beautiful. We had plenty of sunshine, but there even were some waves I noticed on Lake Baldwin, which is usually pretty calm. Those wind gusts over 15 to 25 miles per hour made it a little unpleasant to be outside, especially when you were walking into that wind. Today, no big changes. That we'll still have sunshine and we'll still have that breeze coming in from the west-northwest, going to carry in some very dry air. Notice there's nothing upstream on Storm Tracker 13, so we will be enjoying plenty of sunshine throughout the day, but our temperatures will be a little bit cooler than the average. Those winds will actually pick up a little bit once we get through the mid-morning and afternoon hours, watching them unfold on Storm Tracker 13. These are your wind speeds and the directions. They're all coming in out of the west, and they'll be over 20 miles per hour at times. So that's going to make our feels-like temperatures a little bit cooler too. Around 9 o'clock this morning, we'll be feeling like the 30s in Daytona Beach and Palm Coast, and we'll be feeling like the 40s and 50s all morning long. Looking ahead through the afternoon, by around 2, 3 o'clock, we'll be feeling more like the actual air temperature, but it is going to be a bit cooler than the average. Since we are typically in the lower 70s this time of the year, we're going to be confined to the 60s everywhere from Palm Coast to Palm Bay today. Tonight, still another breezy night. We'll be in the 40s tomorrow afternoon. Another cool day with a reinforcing shot of cooler air coming in from the northwest. Not the greatest beach weather again today, especially with that chilly surf. Water temperatures in the 50s and low 60s. Here are your tide times. I'll be back at 21 past. Right now, a live look at Storm Tracker 13.
Your accurate weather experts forecast with Storm Tracker 13.
21 past the hour, we are focusing on weather up north, but also locally too, as we focus on travel conditions. In Tavares, conditions were pretty quiet there comparatively to up north. Just a little bit of a breeze yesterday, and we had plenty of sunshine. Not a bad afternoon, and today we will be looking at the breeze sticking around. In fact, it's kind of in conjunction with that storm system up north. The wind flow on the back edge of it helping to send in that west and northwesterly flow all along the eastern seaboard. So let's focus on that first. We'll get back Central Florida in a moment, but this area of low pressure is just sending all this moisture from the Atlantic onshore, and it's a very deep area of low pressure too. So not only do we have this substantial amount of snow, just look at how widespread it is from down East Maine through the New York City area, but then we have wind on top of that, and that is what contributes to the blizzard conditions. These wind speeds on Storm Tracker 13 this morning, we can pause that and show you the latest speed speeds. The highest one that I can find is on Nantucket, around 67 miles per hour. Also near Chatham, Massachusetts, 52 miles per hour, Boston 38. And what you need for a blizzard is for winds to be 35 miles per hour for 3 hours or more, creating visibility under a quarter of a mile. A blizzard does not have to mean how much snow you get or how many feet of snow you get, but they will be measuring that, especially since we'll be adding those snowfall rates of 1 to 2 inches an hour for several more hours. Then you have those feels-like temperatures all feeling like sub-zero, if not single digits, across the Northeast. So quite a mess impacting travel for many of these big cities from Portland, Maine through New York City. Washington, D.C. getting some lighter snow too. You see that just on the edge of your screen over the Carolinas. Now we have the winds coming in out of the northwest today, dry air filtering in, and that is setting the stage for a fairly pleasant afternoon. There is one more push of cooler air coming down through the deep south in the Tennessee Valley. No moisture with that, so we're going to leave rain out of the forecast. We will keep our temperatures a little bit cooler than average. Storm Tracker 13, pretty uneventful today in terms of precipitation. There's nothing showing up, just a couple of passing clouds here and there. I don't think we'll see much more than that for the balance of the work week. In fact, it's going to be a very quiet week ahead. Look at your forecast today. Mostly sunny, windy and cool, 65 degrees. A lot like yesterday, feeling a little bit below the actual air temperature with that feels like temperature of 63. Your pollen forecast brought to you by Trial Pro, the trial professionals. High levels of pollen today and for the next few days. Now, one thing that will change this week, our temperatures gradually will warm up. We'll get back into the lower 70s by Thursday and Friday. Saturday and Sunday, a couple showers back in the forecast, but look at those weekend temperatures nearing 80 degrees. So that will feel very nice, especially after the cooler temperatures this morning. See you again in less than 10 minutes. Right now, a live look at Storm Tracker 13. Here at 7:31, no, this isn't Central Florida, but we're monitoring the snowstorm in the Northeast, taking you live to Saugus, Massachusetts. You're looking at Route 1, typically a very busy road this time of the morning, but people following that driving ban. Some 12 to 18 inches of snow has fallen in eastern Massachusetts, and maybe the Kowloon is open for lunch this afternoon. That's a good way to ride out the storm if you're familiar with Chinese food there in eastern Mass. Okay, here we go to Storm Tracker 13. That storm system winding up and ultimately sending the cooler air into Central Florida this morning too. It's a pretty morning out at Flagler Beach on the Beaver Toyota Cam at the Golden Lion Restaurant, but temperatures are chilly. Jackets required this morning. 36 in Ocala, 39 in Palm Coast. We're about 15 minutes past sunrise, so temperatures will start to recover, but it feels even colder when you factor in that breeze. So dress accordingly at the bus stop. This morning we recover to the middle 60s, plenty of sun, and certainly none of that snow like they're going to have up to the north. And we're going to talk about that in greater detail as we focus on travel later this hour. Focusing on local travel right now, Ryan Harper with real-time traffic. How's our drive looking so far?
Your accurate weather experts forecast with Storm Tracker 13.
41 past the hours, and we always focus on your marine conditions. I want to expand the view and check out those wave heights on Storm Tracker 13 off the coast of Cape Cod and the islands. Wave heights here on Storm Tracker 13, 11 to 16 feet in association with that nor'easter, and even in Massachusetts Bay, those are nearing 10 feet. Now, we don't have winds of that elevation here in Central Florida, but we still have some choppy conditions because of the west to northwesterly wind, so it's going to be a breezy out there today. We're plotting those wave heights between 2 to 3 feet, but they may be a little bit higher if you want to do some boating today. And we're looking at conditions out at Hollywood Studios before we check in on your ocean conditions. Going inland, looking at yesterday, beautiful blue skies, but you needed to have that jacket on. And today, if you're going to be heading out to the attractions, I do think it's going to be looking very similar. Also looking similar on the water, a bit hazardous for the boaters, and that goes for the inland lakes as well. So no matter what you're doing outside today, you will have to you'll be noticing that wind. It'll be coming in from the west between 15 to 25 knots for the boaters. Time for your county by county forecast, which we always show you here at 41 past the hour. These temperatures a little bit below the average because we're typically in the lower 70s this time of the year. No 70s showing up in any of our counties today. A little bit warmer, if you want to call it that, for Melbourne and Micco compared to, say, Scottsmore and Titusville. Osceola County will be enjoying full sunshine, but a breezy west-northwesterly wind over 15 to 25 miles per hour at times. Will be around 60 64 degrees on this Tuesday afternoon in St. Cloud. For Chiliota, also 64 degrees. We'll be in the middle 60s for Winter Springs and Lake Mary. A bright but breezy afternoon. A cool start for Marion Lake and Sumter counties. You're not going to warm up much there, though. 62 for the Villages and 63 for Ocala and throughout Orange County. Similar to yesterday, breezy and sunny with temperatures in the middle 60s. There is a warm up, though, showing up in the extended forecast, and I'll have that in less than 10 minutes. Right now, a live look at Storm Tracker 13.
Your accurate weather experts forecast with Storm Tracker 13.
It is now 51 minutes past the hour on this Tuesday morning. A big morning for viewer photos, not just from Central Florida, but getting some pictures in from the Northeast blizzard. And got 4 of them selected right here. I'll take a moment to show you a few. You can clearly tell from this perspective which is the local picture coming in from Florida. And this came in on News 13 Plus, a beautiful sunrise out at Indian Harbor Beach. Thank you so much for sharing this with us. Now, of course, we have those pictures coming in from Massachusetts. Matt in Burlington, Mass, showing about a foot of snow here. Some significant totals, and the dogs certainly love to play in that snow. Sarah sent this in from Dedham, Massachusetts, also around a foot, and those totals will continue to climb throughout the day, impacting travel as this area of low pressure sends all this moisture onshore. A very cold environment, too, so we're not dealing with any of that rain-snow mix or icing. This is all snow out to Cape Cod and the islands, where winds have been in excess of 50 to even 70 miles per hour. Now, the blizzard warnings continue for eastern Mass, Rhode Island, and Connecticut. They have been dropped for New York City, replaced by a winter storm warning, but travel to any of these cities today really not going to be happening, whether it's by air or by car, since there are travel bans in effect and the road conditions are quite hazardous all along I-95. For the next 24 hours, there will be additional snow falling. Those persistent bans in eastern Mass, particularly east of 495, upwards of 12 to 18 inches, bringing grand totals to 2 to 3 feet. So a lot of you have friends and family in this part of the country, so we'll focus on it for another second here, showing the progress of that low finally pulling into the Gulf of Maine and then exiting and allowing conditions to improve by Wednesday afternoon. Now, that system is indirectly impacting our weather because behind it, that northwesterly flow is pushing in the cooler temperatures and the breezy conditions. We'll have another push of that cool air coming in tonight and tomorrow, but no moisture expected with this boundary. We're going to leave things dry for the rest of the week. Plenty of sunshine on the way, but temperatures will be a little bit below the average, at least for today. 65 degrees with your forecast in writing. Tomorrow, 63, but then we start to recover. Thursday and Friday, we bounce back into the lower 70s, and looking ahead to the weekend, if you are here vacationing, maybe escaping that cold from up north, we'll get to near 80 degrees by Sunday and Monday. With that comes the chance for showers, but until then, we're looking at a very dry week ahead. Plenty of sunshine, but today that wind is going to be a factor with gusts over 15 to 25 miles per hour. Stay with us for more weather on the ones. I'll be back in less than 10 minutes. Right now, a live look at Storm Tracker 13.